Hey, everybody, it's Matt Myra and Matt Gorley.
Hi.
We are just going to record a little something up top to let you know what's happening in this very special episode of James Bonding. We had scheduled Kumail to be on the show. He couldn't make it last minute, so we decided, you know what, Craig Rowan's here. We loved him on Goldfinger, on GoldenEye, rather. Let's do a quick podcast, a mission briefing. Well, we started talking about James Bond. And then we got severely off track, and the middle of the episode is essentially a brand new podcast that Craig and I invented while we were talking called 1990 High Five, where we essentially discuss what Matt Gorley was up to in 1995, just to sort of get in his head about where he was with James Bond. Listen, I had a lot of fun doing it.
Listen at your own peril is what we're saying. Don't even it's gravy. You can do what you want with it.
Yeah, and that's why we're actually going to release this not even on Thursday. We're going to put it out a little bit earlier. Katie gave me a look like maybe that's not happening, but just know that this isn't a real episode. It's just sort of like a filler. It's like a little gift to the fans of like, hey, we're here. We do feel bad about not putting out the episode as often as we should.
Yeah.
And we were like, fuck it, let's just get something down on the ears, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
Get down on your ears.
Get down on the ears. Get it down on the ears.
Get a yoga mat. Put on some beefcake in the Artisans.
And my point is,
get down on your ears.
If you enjoy, I think this is one of my favorite episodes just because of how bizarre it got.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank Craig for being a part of it.
Thanks, Craig.
Craig, you can say thank you in the intro. You can say thank you in the intro.
No, don't say anything.
I'm not here for this.
No. You just should acknowledge.
I should not talk to you.
Don't. Right? You're just doing it weird right now.
Stop.
You're making it odd. Okay, thank you.
But thanks for having me, guys.
Craig.
You're welcome. He's not on the episode.
Yeah, so without further ado, we give you James Bonding 00 something.
Mission briefing number 2.
Mission briefing ot 2.
I'm still here.
Now entering Nerdist.com.
James Bond. Mission briefing. Let's do this.
What? Wow.
Huh?
Really? The hour we spent rehearsing that fucking paid off brilliantly.
I wish the people at home could see the pyrotechnics.
They can feel
Imagine them. Welcome to a very special edition of James Bonding. It's been a while since we've recorded. We thought we would give you one. The original plan for this evening was to record License to Kill with Kumail Nanjiani.
Kumail non-show-uppy.
Kumail non-show-uppy, to borrow a first name from Pete Holmes. Kumail, he's busy guy. He's out there all the time. They're editing the Meltdown program that's going to be on Comedy Central this summer, so he was stuck with that and sends his regrets and owes us big.
Yeah, big time.
Quote, unquote. He owes us big. That's what he said to us. So he'll hopefully make good on it.
It's going to be enough punishment to make him watch License to Kill.
Yeah,
no,
which we'll talk about next time. So, Craig Rowan, you're back.
I'm here. What the hell?
Yeah.
Craig Rowan's going to help us out with a very special mission briefing episode.
While Kumail is busy, I literally have nothing to do.
We should mention that Craig Rowan of GoldenEye fame. Craig,
yes.
I was the lead in GoldenEye.
The lead GoldenEye episode.
Craig GoldenEye Rowan is here with us today. Craig, of course, does a great podcast that's coming over to the Nerdist Network called It's That Episode.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's That Episode. It's a great...
you heard it here second.
Yep.
In my case, first.
Used to be over on the Split Sider, and then we brokered a huge deal.
You have no idea how many zeros were after that
we
zero.
Actually had to give them Jonah Ray. We gave them Jonah Ray.
Oh, man.
The person, he's still going to do stuff on our network, but as a human being, he's owned by Splitsider now. But in exchange, we got Craig Rowan to come over and do a podcast on our network. Matt Gorley of Volkswagen fame.
Oh,
those are showing up on the television right now.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff. Matt, I texted you, and then I said something to you as soon as I saw you, and I'll say it on the air. You look great in those suits.
Thanks, Matt. And
Yeah.
you look great right now as well.
Thank
you
you.
really do. Yeah.
Really cutting it down.
I saw one of the commercials as well, and you were great. And I said to Matt when it was on, I didn't even recognize you because you had a beard.
Yeah.
For
In
the
fact, I
Golden
just shaved that Sunday, like a 3-month beard.
The 3-month winter beard's gone.
Yeah.
You're ready for spring. New things are coming.
That's right.
You're just
Rebirth.
Rebirth. This is the rebirth
Renaissance.
of the James Bonding podcast.
That's right. We're on to Dalton and more.
It's gonna be a good run, guys. Also, this might be prematurely, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. There's a very in all likelihood there will be a James Bonding panel at WonderCon this year, which is a wonderful comic book convention that happens in Anaheim.
And can I say that it's confirmed that Sean Connery is going to be there?
You could say that, but that's not true.
It's going to be the first time the six Bond actors have been in the same room. They're coming to Anaheim.
What if we got that just for a lark? They were like, yeah, fuck it, I'll show up to that.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
I'll pay you.
Do you think we can get a broccoli over there?
A broccoli.
Yeah, maybe a broccoli Rob. What is this?
We can get some broccoli.
We'll be on stage with some broccoli.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
This is Barbara broccoli. It's just a stock of broccoli that I own that I've named Barbara.
But it's just a mixture of spices that make it just tasted like a Barbara. So here we are. We are a lot of movies into this thing.
Yeah, it's a mission briefing episode where we do a sort of state of the union, a state of the podcast.
Yeah.
And we check in, we answer some questions, we talk about where we are in our James Bonding lives.
Talk about breaking James Bond news, which I'm going to start this with. I'm going to start this with some breaking James Bond news. Ralph Fiennes has said in an interview that the new James Bond movie is beginning filming in October.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, is he involved, or is he was the guy that they're like, let's let him say it?
No,
I
he's
might
a
as
big
well.
fan. Like, he breaks all the Bond news. He runs a website.
May I release that? Thank you. And that's actually, they were so tired of him that they just gave him a part. So that's
Can I correct that? It's pronounced Reef Fiennes.
Reef Fiennes.
It's Raep.
So obviously that means Mallory's back as M.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be addressed as M in this
Craig
one.
David's still in it.
Sure,
I think he is.
he's probably going to hang out
he
and
is.
be Ronson.
Tanner.
Ronson's not around anymore.
No,
correct?
Ronson's dead.
Ronson died. When did Ronson die?
He dies in the cold opening of Skyfall.
No.
Yeah, Ronson.
Hang on.
It's true, man.
Ronson is dead.
Yeah.
And Ronson is not the guy I'm thinking of.
Who are you thinking?
Robinson. Craig, what's his name?
Craig Robinson.
He is
No. I'm talking about, yeah, his name is Robinson, that character.
the bald guy.
The handsome, tall, black gentleman in The World Is Not Enough and Tomorrow Never Dies. Mm-hmm. The one that lets us know that it's called the GPS system, Global Positioning
Really
Satellites.
hit that hard.
Yeah. Lets everybody know what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Sam Mendes is back. John
No
Logan.
Roger Deakins.
No
That's a
Deakins.
major
No Deakins
loss.
shooting, so it might not be as pretty as the previous
I don't
movie.
see how it could be.
Well, here's my question. I'll pose this to both of you gentlemen.
Thank you.
Prettiest James Bond movie, a lot of people say Skyfall. Skyfall's a great looking movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to have to pull us all back and say maybe it's Quantum of Solace. Maybe Quantum of
I will
Solace
disagree.
is visually
I will say it
more
might
compelling.
be. It might be visually more compelling in its let's say editing, and but I think for sheer composition
Of
and
shots.
light and
Yeah.
beauty, you can't touch Skyfall.
you can't. I can touch it.
You can't.
I think Quantum of Solace. Do you have
I'll
an opinion
say
on either of these?
I'm
things?
not sure which is the best, but I'll say it's definitely not Licensed to Kill.
That's true. That may be one of the.
I mean, just
Yeah.
the
Just the lighting
It was
at the very
just terrible, just really bad.
I think, that's John Glenn's last film. Well, we'll talk about.
We'll
this
touch
next
on this
time, but,
eventually, but here, since we're talking about
Yeah, we don't
License
need to get
Kill,
too deep.
We don't
I
need to get
just-
too deep into License to Kill, but here's what I'll say to License to Kill. License to Kill is, I feel, the most reactionary James Bond movie that has ever been. And by that, I mean it is reacting to every 80s
Yeah.
movie that existed
I agree.
from 1980 to 1988.
It's basically a long episode of Miami Vice.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, with some
and
Die Hard and
like comically, a ninja shows up.
We got to save this.
All right.
'cause
All right.
I
we'll
have a
save
soft spot for that movie.
It's very
A
soft.
history and a soft spot and a weird tie-in.
As my dad would say, soft in the head, Matt.
Hey, Dad. Holy jeez.
So it's coming out October 2015. In
Man, that's
in the
we'll
UK.
have flying cars by then.
We probably
We'll have flying cars by the time they
exactly
start shooting
October.
October.
it. Oh, yeah. Hoverboards.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And then November in the United States. Here's my proposition, Matt Gorley. I'm gonna throw this out
I'm
here
in.
right
We
now.
go to England.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
let's
go
do
to
it.
England and watch it
Yeah.
opening weekend.
Oh, why don't we? Yeah. That
All right,
sounds great.
done. Craig, you in?
I can't be there. I'm busy.
I understand.
So Bond, it's Bond 25, right?
Yeah. No, 24.
24. 25 is he's still contractually obligated for 25,
Yes.
correct? Yes.
Yeah.
He being Daniel Craig. So, yeah. The James Bond movies, we have now experienced every James Bond.
Right.
Yep. We've
Right.
seen Dalton. We've seen Brosnan. We've seen Craig. We've seen Craig Rowan. We've seen Sean Connery. We've seen George Lazenby, Roger Moore, of course. And now I think we can have the official discussion.
Who's the best? Do we
Who's-
put them in order?
Who's the best? Let's do a ranking of our Bonds. Now, Matt Gorley's taking this very seriously and writing it down.
Yeah.
I am not taking it nearly as seriously. We should have two separate lists for this.
Okay.
We should have our favorite and who the best is.
Ooh, interesting.
Well, mine are the same.
Really?
Yeah.
So your favorite, now I believe, if I remember correctly, just from our friendship, your favorite is Daniel Craig.
Yes.
Wow. Just giving it to the new guy.
Yeah. He's earned it.
I
He's
don't-
3 in.
He's three
If
in.
it were 1 or 2, I might have to step back a little.
Yeah.
But I think he's wonderful. I think he's by far the best actor. His movies, pound for pound, are really good.
You think he's a better actor than Timothy Dalton, acting wise?
Yeah, I do. And I think Timothy Dalton's pretty good.
I think Timothy Dalton's a very good actor.
Yeah.
This is a real question. Does Daniel Craig, do you feel he has the humor of the Bond?
No,
No, but I don't feel he needs that humor in his movies. If he were doing Roger Moore's movies, he wouldn't be that great in them, obviously. Yeah. Yeah.
my
Yeah.
favorite.
Because I feel like, to me, that's a key ingredient in James Bond.
In
Yeah, and
Casino
that's-
Royale, I thought his humor was spot on because the writing really fit him. It was a little tough in Skyfall because they were kind of going back to some one-liners, and he didn't seem comfortable with them. And not like he couldn't do them, but I almost felt like there was something behind his eyes saying he didn't want to or something. You know, I got that feeling.
It's interesting too when you watch Craig because I've been, it's on Netflix right now, Skyfall, so it always shows up and I recently watch because I'll just watch 5 minutes
Sure,
of it
yeah.
pretty often. It's a click away, guys.
Wait a minute. I want to say that I always put it on to test any of my home sound or TV equipment, and I would just like to say that I
You can't stop
kicked
talking about this new
ass
television.
in the universal remote control world.
You finally
My
got it.
home is one button for any you want music, just one button is all you have to press. Ask me how many buttons.
So hang on, Matt. Let's say you want to watch
Yeah.
a Blu-ray. How many buttons
Way ahead
are
of
you
you,
gonna
one
have to
button.
What?
One button. And I'll put in Skyfall because it looks so beautiful and sounds so good.
Do you know what movie I test everything with?
What's your demo disc?
The Blu-ray of Apollo 13.
Ooh.
That launch
really?
sequence. That's a good-looking, good-sounding
Right.
launch sequence. Craig, do you have an answer for this?
Air Bud. It's got every channel,
every
audio channel.
surround sound
Just-
system in the world.
It's a feast
Should
for the
be.
ears and eyes.
Well, no. So your favorite, you're going to say Daniel Craig number one for you. My number one, my
can guess.
of the favorites.
We should try to guess each other's.
Boom. Okay, go ahead. Guess my favorite.
Well, your favorite is Roger Moore.
Correct.
Okay.
You are absolutely correct. Roger Moore is my favorite James Bond.
Wow.
Yeah.
Craig, do you have an answer?
I mean, yes, but again, it's
we
as you
can't
said,
guess you.
it's favorite.
Yeah.
Not
this is favorite right now.
who's the best.
Favorite. Okay.
You can guess.
Yeah. I gotta say your favorite is probably Connery.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But that's because those are the movies. I'm a casual James Bond fan.
Yeah, sure. Cash fan.
Cash F. And that's what I grew up on. I watched those. Those are the ones my dad grew up on, so those are the
Craig
ones I grew up on.
is 62.
Yeah.
62 years old. Or years young.
As he likes to say.
I'm spry.
All right, so here we go. We're going now number 2 on Matt's favorite list. Matt Gorley, I'm going to guess for you. Your number 2 favorite James Bond. It's got to be Roger Moore.
That's true.
Yeah.
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 That's correct.
Yeah. That's a good number 2. I'm not going to lie. He should be number 1.
Well,
I like a little wink. I like a little humor. I like a little suaveness.
Yours, I think, is between... Yours is tough. Your number 2's tough.
Yeah, it is pretty tough, right?
I'm going to put a little faith in you. I'm going to say Daniel Craig.
You're wrong.
No, Connery?
Yes.
All right.
Sean Connery.
Who is your number 1, Roger?
Roger Moore.
Roger Moore.
Craig, you're number 1. Your number 1 is Sean Connery. Your number 2 is Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. It's like, that's not true. It's not true. The thing is, like, it's not true, but it's also not true. Because those were the first ones I saw in the theater, so that's also where my brain goes. But I love Daniel Craig. I really very much enjoy Daniel Craig.
I think he's great.
Bond. I think
he's fantastic.
I think he's earned it.
But you also got to remember how, we're looking at this, Matt. We're looking at this through different eyes. We're looking at this through the eyes of someone who was the age you were when View to a Kill was out was the age I was when GoldenEye was out.
Are you about to make a case for Brosnan?
No, he's actually gonna show up shortly.
No.
He's gonna show up shortly on the list.
Okay.
But now for number 3 for you. This is interesting. I'm going to have to say, due to your age and your soft spot for nostalgia and your love of new wave music, I'm going to put your number 3 at Timothy Dalton.
It's not it.
Can I make a guess?
Yeah.
George Lazenby.
No.
Ooh, wait, what? The process of elimination here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you forgetting someone?
Connery.
Yeah, Connery.
Oh my God! I completely had already thought you said Connery
No.
because the only logical choices should have been Connery.
I love Connery. Don't get me wrong. Just because he's third, I think the Roger Moore nostalgia thing is trumping how I really do like Connery. Obviously, he's a classic. It's almost like you got to take him out of it.
He's sort of
In
like
some
set
ways.
up he set it up. It's like sort of when you have your favorite band discussion, you always have to remove the Beatles.
He's the gold standard.
Yeah.
He's the gold
It's
standard.
really not.
He's
fair.
the gold finger standard.
He's the golden gun standard.
Yeah, I don't even know that I can say I really. I think Roger Moore may be a soft spot favorite, but I don't think he's a better Bond than Connery. Really,
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get to the best in a second.
Okay.
Now, Craig,
I'm going to abstain from this one.
you're gonna
I'm just going to abstain.
you're just gonna
remember
abstain.
three.
They're
You
all
don't wanna-
tied.
They're all tied.
I don't want to say my third favorite.
They're all
Yeah,
tied
I
up
can't.
here.
If you knew, you would what's going on in my brain. You'd freak out. Who I think that now
It's Woody Allen, isn't it?
it's Woody Allen. It's because the original Casino Royale, and I can't say it because of what's been in the news recently.
Yeah,
But
I understand. I understand.
So now 1, 2. We've done 1, 2, and now my third favorite James Bond.
Is well, it's got to be now, Daniel. It's not Brosnan, is it? It's Brosnan.
No, Daniel Craig's better
Okay,
than Pierce
good.
Brosnan.
All right.
Daniel Craig's better than Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Now here's the interesting part with you. I have to put Timothy Dalton ahead of George Lazenby and Pierce Brosnan.
For me,
Yeah.
you're correct.
Okay.
You've
good.
got my whole lineup figured out at this point.
And for me, I'm actually gonna throw Pierce Brosnan in next. Okay.
All right.
Which means that it's now between.
Well, you know what? I have to say, I don't even know that I could put him below Lazenby. I think I love that movie more than I may like.
The
Lazenby.
movie's great. The
Yeah.
movie's great, and George Lazenby does a fine job.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
He's a good
That's
man.
A real tough one. This is tough.
I don't know about that.
This is tough.
But he does a fine job. But
Oh, you know the guests Maria and Amanda that were on
Yeah,
the
of course.
Casino Royale
Love them.
episode. Their
They're
Ghost
great.
Girls episode.
you're having
was-
sex with one of them.
Oh, jeez. No, I'm not. Just kidding.
oh yeah,
They were nominated for Ghost Girls for a satellite award.
Great.
Well,
It's very important.
Apparently, a satellite award is sort of a vanity thing put together by a couple that doesn't put a ton of money into it. And so they showed up, and a lot of things were, House of Cards was nominated, Breaking Bad, and everything. But the only discernible celebrities that were there were Courtney Love and George Lazenby.
Oh, boy.
And George Lazenby gave a speech, and he, with no segue, started talking about how he used to get laid on the set of On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Awesome.
Like he does anytime he publicly
does he
speaks.
speak about anything else?
No, that's just his bit. That's just his bit.
That's like
so they
his-
sent me video. In fact, let me see.
Oh my god!
please,
we
put
are
it up.
in for a treat. This is a James Bonding
Exclusive.
music sting. Katie, thank you. I know you didn't put it in post, but we thank you for your effort to look like you were trying.
Yes, yeah.
We're gonna plug this in.
This is.
Oh boy,
Here we
George
go.
Lazenby. Here we go.
Yeah.
So he comes up. Are they already recording as he's walking up? Like, oh my god, I gotta get this
No,
to
I
Matt.
think he's already speaking.
Okay.
Let's see what we get. Wait, hold on.
Chance going into Dr. No, and coming out I had about 20. And I thought, geez, if ever I get a chance to play that guy, I'm gonna get it. I know what I'm getting up, but it was all about getting laid. And then, I met a few actors on the job, Telly Savalas and Diana Rigg and all those people. They're all having a good time, so I decided to act a little longer. But I didn't want to do James Bond because hippies were in it. I'd go into a restaurant and they'd say, waiter, because I had short hair and a suit on, because I had to wear that gig. They were going to have bell bottoms and flowers and whatever. So I decided to grow a beard and get long hair and totally get lost. And I went sailing for 15 months. And I'm still an actor. I can't help it. I love it. And the business is more than I ever thought it was. I didn't know what acting was about until I spent 20 years in an acting class. And finding out that, the writer's really the real reason we look good. And anyway, forget that. Let me talk about this. The winner of the Satellite Award goes to Star Trek Into Darkness.
That's the best part. That's the best part. That was he had already opened the envelope.
Oh, the Satellite War.
Yeah.
What was the category?
It was it was
Writing, I think.
It was for the most tinny microphone.
But he's told that story about going to see Dr. No on a date, going, I think I had a 70% chance going in and a 20% going out. Because the girl's going to love Connery or
Oh
something.
my god, that's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That is that's amazing and sad all
Yeah.
at the same time.
I've seen him speak, I think, 3 times, and he's told that story. It's hilarious, and you got to love him for it. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. But
No, you do. You do.
So let's bang out the rest of this list here.
All right.
Where are you putting? So for you, recap your list for me very quickly.
Favorites: Daniel Craig,
Yep.
Roger Moore, Connery, Dalton, Lazenby, Brosnan.
Brosnan does nothing for you. That's what you're saying here.
what age were you when GoldenEye came out?
He was in
I'm
the
going to
prime
guess
of
you're
his
15.
prime of
I'm
his
going to guess you're
fucking
15,
life.
16. You were
21.
angsty. You're
I was
rebelling.
21.
You were
21.
rebelling against the system at
I was
21.
well. at
21 years old, prime of your life. You're out of college.
You-
Fresh
Wait,
faced
what
Matt
year did it come
Gorley,
out?
95.
Oh, I was 22.
So listen, a year ago you started drinking.
Yeah.
You're on a bender.
Yeah.
You can't deal with this guy in the theater. You hate him. It's all about the
More like
situation.
I had not been.
You
drinking
abandoned.
yet.
You abandoned him. You abandoned James Bond.
I
you didn't
did.
just abandon Pierce
Well,
Brosnan.
I felt
you
it
abandoned James
abandoned
Bond.
me because
Whoa.
6-year gap. You can't handle that.
well, I can handle that. It's when it came back, it slowly started. Everybody else was doing it better. We've been through this on the podcast.
I know,
before. I
but
don't want
this
to
is
catch
something
hell
I
again.
need to. I need
Okay,
to
I will say,
understand.
like in a post Die Hard world.
I want you to set the table. I want to know about 22-year-old Matt Gorley.
All right.
Where are you living? Long Beach at that point?
I'm living in Long Beach.
Okay.
I
You're
got,
surfing every day.
I
Surfing
got
every day, you can't
long grunge. What I think is grunge hair, but really because my hair grows in a weird way, it's more like Mary Tyler Moore hair.
Right.
Jackie Kennedy. It
Scoops
just kinda
out.
flips up on the
So
side.
it's not just Mary Tyler Moore hair. Lightning, guys. It's a thunderstorm. Don't worry about it.
Whoa.
That was huge.
Yeah, all right. Also could have been a transformer blowing up. It doesn't matter. We still have lights. The point is,
Jeez.
That was Michael Bay's Transformer blowing up.
I have upset the Brosnan gods.
what if you made Pierce Brosnan mad and he somehow controls thunder? Okay, so we're gonna set. You're in Long Beach. You got grungy hair.
You're surfing
It's
every
not
day.
just-
I've
It's
never-
not just Mary Tyler Moore hair. It's Laura Petrie hair.
All the
Yeah.
other surfers
Yeah.
are like, look
Yeah.
at that hair.
No, because I'm straight up listening to the Cranberries and Gin Blossoms.
So you're in your Volkswagen Passat. I'm gonna just say it because
No,
you're now a
You're in your
spokesperson.
I'm
Volkswagen
driving
Volkswagen
at
Boss.
this point, I'm driving a maroon Honda Accord, oxidized roof.
Oxidized roof on the Honda Accord.
Little
They couldn't
Daffy
really
Duck
handle
head
the.
on the blinker thing.
You got that
inside.
surfboard on the top. You're
No,
just
never had it. Never that cool. Never that cool.
So you're. Oh my god! I kind of love this idea of finding out about 20-year-old Matt Gorley. Okay, all right. This podcast just became more fun for me.
I'm doing lots of theater.
You're doing lots of theater.
Playing-
You're doing. What are you doing? You're doing local
I'm
presentations of Death of a Salesman.
Nope,
or
doing
are you?
college productions of like As You Like It, of Mice and Men.
Yep.
Good doing some summer Shakespeare
were
at Lake Tahoe.
terrible Lenny. I just want to say that.
I was cast as George, the bad guy, because I did comedy, and the director was all real theater, and he's like, "Well, you got something to hide. Let's put you in." And then they
Whoa.
curled my hair.
Wow.
Wow, and the other surfers were like, I don't like
This
that.
guy's curling his hair now. He's not.
I
one
did
of
have
us,
short hair
bro.
at that
How's he
time.
gonna hang 10? So you're okay. So you're doing theater.
Yeah.
Theater. Is it fair to say, Matt Gorley, that theater is your first love?
No.
Okay.
Is it your second? Is it above George Lazenby or below?
No, I loved theater at the time, and I currently still teach theater.
Yeah, of course.
But more, improv has always been my thing, and comedy and that sort of thing.
So
The Harold. Del
Back
Close.
then, there was no college improv, really. You just had to take theater.
well, how'd you get into improv?
In high school, I did it in comedy sports in high school, and then joined comedy
Oh,
sports.
comedy
Wait,
professional.
where was that? That was comedy.
Lucerna in Whittier, California.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, this is interesting. Craig's a very good improviser.
Yeah.
He does a lot of nights at the UCB.
But I know a
Theater.
couple people who do comedy sports, but does that still exist?
Yeah.
Or Charlie Sanders used to do that, and a lot of like UCB guys before
Right.
long form
Took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But comedy sports just seems like that was the way to do it back
It
in the
was
day.
back then, yeah, it really was. And some Dan Harmon, Rob Schraub came out of comedy sports around the same time I did. We know each other from that. And, great improvisers like Chris Tallman. And there's, And then they all kind of, I think, eventually split off into other places. Nobody seemed to really stick with it.
Christmas 1995.
You're like, it's cold, it's too cold to surf.
I can't get my
can't-
board. I can't get a good wax on my board. It's not setting correctly because of the temperature.
The brakes just
outside.
aren't,
It's just-
coming.
95, I'm in my first
Your first apartment
by myself
in
where I
Long
live
Beach.
alone.
You live alone.
Your
in Long
first
Beach.
time ever living alone? Of
No.
course you hate Pierce Brosnan.
No roommates.
It's a studio apartment in Naples, California.
what?
And it's tiny, but man, I worked on that thing and fixed it up.
Yeah, you got it
got the
looking- you got it
universal
looking right?
remote set up right away.
Let me ask you this: you
Yeah.
ever take a lady back there?
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
she liked it?
Yeah, well, I had a
She liked it? Was
girlfriend
she
at the
impressed?
time, so that
You had a
was
girlfriend at the time?
easier
How-
than said.
How long was this girl in your life?
This was a long relationship, on and off for 7 years.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
a doozy.
Yeah.
That's a doozy of a
Yeah.
relationship. Starting in college?
Yep. Starting
Oh,
in
yeah.
'94, we met in Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
guessing you
In the
played
cigar.
Rosencrantz and she played Guildenstern.
That's correct. She was Juliet, but I was Mercutio.
Oh, okay. I like it. A little different
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Did
we-
you get a
we-
little jealous every time she kissed Romeo? You're like, this fucking...
Yeah, you ever bite your finger at her? You know what I
wasn't
mean?
too worried about Romeo. I wasn't too worried about Romeo.
Romeo was gay, is what we're saying.
Whoa, that's an interesting theory. Did Shakespeare exist? We don't know.
We don't know. No one really has any evidence.
What we should be talking
No,
about.
this is.
I
I fucking love now. Here's my new podcast idea. You're still listening to James Bonding, but Craig and I have an interview show right now, and we're interviewing Matt Gorley because Matt.
It's called no. The show's just 1995, and we interview everybody
no
about
matter where they
where what their life was like in '95.
I love it.
That's
I
a
love it.
great
when
idea.
when your little thread, when you've worked it out, you have to ask me about junior high, my bond thing with junior high.
I will.
Okay.
Oh, that would be our 1990.
That's our 1990
I have
podcast,
a-
which we don't record this week. It's alternating.
Okay. All right.
I have a James Bond question for you guys because I know you're
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
taking questions
Sure.
eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
I'm not the host, but I'm just throwing this question at you.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig, he's going to stop at some point.
He sure is.
Let's say 10 to 12 years from now,
Yeah.
there's a new Bond.
I think it'll be sooner than that, probably. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Whenever it is,
Yeah.
who's the right guy for the job?
We get that
That's the
asked a
thing. We
lot.
get this. We
Yeah.
get this question a lot, and it's so hard to say because they tend to. It depends on what age they want him to be.
Yeah.
This is kind of a big question. Like, perpetually you think of James Bond, or at least I do, as a guy between 38 and 50.
Yeah.
That's sort of where
Right,
you think James
right.
Bond is. Now, what they did, with Roger Moore, he was already
45, I
45 years old when he took over the role. Timothy Dalton was probably 40 when he took over, right?
I would think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his hair looked it.
Daniel Craig was 38, I think.
Yeah, so you got to look. It's kind of like the question of who's going to be the next Doctor, because
Yeah.
they're both Time Lords. But the thing about it is, it's probably someone we don't know the name of yet.
Yeah, as well it should be, or else
Yeah.
they'll be too old. Yeah.
That's kind of sort of the way that I think. it's
Shia
gonna go.
LaBeouf. That's the only person I think could do it. That's the only person I think could do it. And that's why I brought up the question. I just want to throw his name into that.
King of the Beef, Shia LaBeouf. But yeah, that's what
I
think
saw
it's
Goldeneye with my girlfriend.
Wait, hang on. We haven't
All right,
gotten to
sorry.
this story yet.
Sorry.
We're still setting you up. We're
Okay.
still learning about
we're
Naples.
still getting that surf.
We want to learn about 1995.
All right.
So,
Weezer's self-titled album came out about a year before.
Yeah, and I'm
this
learning
is the
to
Blue
play it on
album. You're
guitar.
learning to
You're
play
playing Say It Ain't So.
You're just
fucking-
there. You're
I'm
just
playing the
jamming on
Sweater
it.
song.
Sweater song. Of
You're
course, you're
fucking
playing
on the
Sweater
beach.
song. It's the easiest one.
Yeah.
Uh, By the way, Katie, you missed it. Craig and I have just started a new podcast called 1990 High Five,
nice.
where we
Nice.
talk to our guests about what they were doing in 1995. So it's still going to be released under the James Bonding moniker, but right now we're interviewing Matt Gorley about 1995.
Okay.
So Naples. What goes on there? Surf Town?
Naples is a part
It's
of Long
inland.
Beach.
Yeah, it
no,
is.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
it is.
It's like Venice if Venice were really nice. And I'm not saying I lived in a nice area, but I did. But the only way I could was I lived in an apartment about the size of this studio. It's tiny,
Which is
tiny.
huge.
Yeah, I mean the studio is massive. We get a lot of
There's a
comments
panic
on
room.
it. It echoes a lot. It's a weird thing. Katie does an amazing job eliminating the echo because of how cavernous the space is.
It's so big there is no. There
My
can't be.
shower had a window that was painted, and when you opened the window, it opened into the
courtyard?
inside of a wall. Like it just
Like a hallway?
like maybe what once was an elevator shaft or a dumbwaiter shaft or something. It made no sense. It was part of a larger building. But Naples is beautiful, and at
would
Christmas,
your
that's-
parents call you and say, Matt, we're worried about you. We haven't seen you in like 2 weeks.
No, because I grew up in Whittier and was in school in Long Beach, so I could drive home at any time.
And you
It was
did
close.
often. Now we're learning a lot.
Relatively often, yeah.
How
I was-
often would you go home? Would you say, Mom, Dad, I got to do some laundry?
No,
would you do
I
that?
would do that on my own. I think.
Yep.
And
Did you
then I
have
was-
a laundry in the building? Did you walk? How'd you get to the laundry place?
It was nearby. I think I would
knew it.
drive. I would
I
drive.
knew it. You
I would
did.
drive.
You said
Oh,
that
did I
before
do
we
it
started
there?
this podcast.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I did take it home a little bit. Sure.
Favorite place to grab some grub
Ooh.
in your old
You
apartment?
grab it, you go right to the beach,
You're like,
you happen to
fuck.
surf.
Ooh.
Gotta do
It
this.
would have to be Taco Surf.
Taco Surf is,
Yeah.
is this is the name of a place?
Yeah, I was a regular there for many years.
You were on the
Like,
reg.
I could the only time in my life I've ever been in a place where they know my name. You know.
That was your cheers.
Yeah.
Taco
That and
Surf.
another bar. Oh God, there's another Bond story where I went after a bad breakup. I went once a month. I think I've told this story to this Irish bar, and I would read a Bond novel, have a corned beef sandwich, a deep fried Snickers bar, and a Guinness every day for a month. I took off all work and then went home and watched a Bond movie.
Wait, whoa, 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 wait, 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 wait,
Whoa,
wait.
you've
Yeah,
never
back
told
up.
this
Wait, wait,
story.
wait.
Yeah.
You're talking every day for a month?
Yeah,
How the fuck aren't you dead?
What
Because
job did you have that you could do that?
I was, I just...
You were the
was like, I
CEO
needed
of a Fortune 500.
fucking break. And this is what I was going to do. I was going to wake... The whole thing was I'm going to give myself a month with no commitments or no anything. And
Okay, so
I was-
hang on.
Yeah.
we got to take this back a little bit further. Is this the 7 years? This relationship ends? Okay,
No.
so now you're older.
Yeah.
This happens later in your life.
This is like
How old are you?
2006.
2006.
Yeah.
This is fairly recent.
8 years ago to the day.
It's about this time of year.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, boy.
I know.
Okay, so it's 2006.
Uh-huh.
Matt Gorley, you're at this point you're living in Los Angeles.
No,
Still in Long Beach.
Long
at this
Beach,
point.
yeah. I'm in
Yeah, still-
Belmont Shore, right? Living
Still
in the best-
chasing that surf.
A log cabin right on the water.
Log cabin right on the water. Is this a place when you're living here?
Yeah.
Right. Is this when you'd make your commute to Disneyland?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And,
So you're
and I
working
was
at-
teaching at Riverside City College.
So teaching theater at Riverside
Yeah.
Community College.
Yeah.
Driving, taking the commute from Long Beach
Boom.
to Anaheim
Yeah.
And
That's-
Riverside.
and Riverside. That's a lot of driving.
Wait,
Right.
so
How's your Honda Civic holding up at this point?
At this point, I'm driving a Saturn Vue, a black Saturn
Ooh,
Vue.
Saturn
Is that right?
VUE. That's
Yeah.
a van, everybody.
Yeah.
I had a
Nice.
scale.
No, it's not a van.
It's kind of a van.
It's a
kind of
mini
van.
van.
It's kind of a van.
No, it's like
it was their sport ute. It looked like
yeah.
a Honda CRV, but made by Saturn.
It's the most minivan a sport utility vehicle could look.
Yeah, and it's kind of why Saturn no longer exists.
Maybe.
Wait, how much?
Good car though. Good
How much
car.
weight did you gain in a month where you ate?
We're not there
No,
yet,
I need to
Craig.
know.
It's
Here
funny
comes.
you should say that though.
We just saw the lightning.
It supposedly hit the ground right on Gardner. A guy was walking and saw it.
Cool.
Oh my god.
What, did he run in here to tell us?
No, he was on his way in.
Oh wow.
I was so bummed out from this breakup that I weighed 123 pounds, and so
So that
Wait,
was
you
you did that for your health.
in a sense, because I was also for the first time in my life just going to the gym, and so I was just trying to put weight back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you running in now?
155.
What do you
yeah.
bench?
I was gonna say buck 60.
155.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you bench your own weight.
No, I don't.
You're like an eighth of an ant.
I can one hand push myself up perfectly.
Oh, that's good.
No.
That's perfect.
Jack Palance.
Jack Palance can do that. We've seen it. We've been to the Oscars.
He can't anymore.
Well, we don't know.
Cosmically.
He's actually he keeps the earth moving. He's just constantly pushing it as a ghost. Okay, so this girl. How long are you in a relationship with this girl for?
About 7 years off.
7 years. So you
Yeah.
do these 7-year relationships
Well, at the time.
on
yeah.
the
But-
reg.
Lucky
Well,
seven.
they were really off and on.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Really off and on. Okay, here we go.
I don't know. I think we got to do some bond stuff.
Eh, we're getting there.
This all will tie up.
What is an off and on relationship to a younger Matt Gorley?
That's the
You're in a
problem.
very-
It's
you're
a
in a
younger
very-
Matt
you're in a very
Gorley,
happy
and I wouldn't
relationship
wish
right
a
now.
younger Matt Gorley on anybody.
Okay.
Oh,
Are you
that's
saying?
not
Are you
right.
taking the blame for this? Because I feel like it might be some her fault.
No, I'll take the blame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? What was wrong with you?
Why don't you say to me as if I'm her what happened?
Please,
well,
Craig.
What?
Craig, do the voice.
Come on. What's happening?
Annabelle?
He's been practicing. He knew. Oh my god, this is
That's
great.
me.
It's a little Mario right there. You just-
That's me. That's Annabelle.
Angelica?
So what is an off and on relationship like for you for 7 years? How do you
sustain?
stay off and on
Come
for
I
7
don't wanna
years?
talk about this.
Matt,
Say it in terms of James Bond.
Well, let's just say that I had the non-committal lifestyle of James Bond. I was never not virtuous or anything, but I didn't want to be in a committed relationship.
so you had a fear of commitment.
It wasn't a fear. I
You
just didn't want to.
You were terrified of commitment.
I just know I wanted to be also.
Committed because your second lady was Disneyland.
Yeah, that's right. I was so committed to doing improv at Disney that oh boy.
Take us through a little bit, just for Craig's purposes. I keep seeing a Jawa, and there's a life size or Jawa size Jawa to the left of the studio window, and you look to your left, and you just out of the glimpse of your eye, you fear for your droid's
You do.
safety immediately.
Yeah.
So okay, let's take us through for Craig's benefit,
Please.
and also I just love a refresher course on your Disneyland time.
Well,
It's my favorite podcast we've ever done.
okay. Let me tell you that the job I had there first was the best job I'll ever have in my life because when they opened California Adventure, they had this restaurant called the ABC Soap Opera Bistro.
You worked at the ABC Soap Opera Bistro. Oh my god! I tell everybody who goes to California Adventure with me. I point at what is now the Disney Toon Town, whatever the fuck. It's like the Disney. Oh, it's the Disney Junior
Yeah, Blues Clues or some
Theater.
shit, yeah.
So it's just this thing now. It's just this like take kids in there and they'll get to meet Handy Manny.
Right.
But I always point at it and I say, "Do you know what that was when this place opened?" And I will now explain it to you. ABC, the network, parent company Disney.
Whoa.
Very popular for their soap operas.
Sure. As the World Turns, Life After Death.
No, One Life to
Jimmy
Live,
and the
General
Cornhuskers.
Hospital, and All My Children. Those were the
Yeah.
ABC soap operas, okay? I know them well. My mother was an ABC soap fan. She still watches them on the app. So they had a restaurant. You'd go in, you'd have dinner.
Yeah.
But while you're having dinner,
Uh-oh.
some drama's going to happen.
Oh, that's
some
great.
soap opera drama is going to be developing around you.
Yeah.
And now what you're telling me, Matt, and I wasn't aware of this, you were one of the actors
Yes.
involved in the
Yes.
soap opera drama.
And so this job was a union job, and you'd work
Wow.
about 10 minutes on the hour, dressed in comfy doctor scrubs. I was working with Aaron Hayes from Children's Hospital.
Of course, yeah.
It was so many great people, and we just... And you'd go in and they'd go, all right, I know your shift starts at 10 a.m., but we're not opening the restaurant till 5, so just go ride some rides for a while or whatever. It was the best.
And now this is California Adventure when it opened. Craig, I'm addressing everything.
1988.
No, opened in 2001.
2001.
Close enough.
January of
January
2000.
2001. So it had 9 months before everyone got scared of going to theme parks.
Yeah, and it wasn't doing so
And
well.
it wasn't
even
doing so
before
well
that.
then.
Yeah.
California Adventure had a severe attendance problem.
Yeah.
Like, they opened it up and they're like, we're going to get 100,000 people in here, or 90,000 people a day. And it ended up being something like 19,000 people a day.
That's like not as much.
No, not nearly as much. So what would happen is there are videos, and I encourage anybody who's...
Craig represents the everyman listening to this podcast.
Yeah, I'm on your side, guys.
there's
Incredulity.
There's some fun little videos you can watch on YouTube of people taking vacation videos in California Adventure, and it looks like they're in an abandoned amusement
Well,
park.
why don't you just YouTube up the Superstar limo ride, because that was a
Disaster.
It was like a Fantasyland ride where you just go through one of those swirling car
Yep.
tracks, but it was supposed to be that you just arrive at the airport into Hollywood and you're due for your big break,
Yeah.
and your agent's trying to get you there, and then they license the likeness of a bunch of Hollywood
Drew
celebrities. Drew Carey,
Joan Rivers.
Whoopi Goldberg, who
Goldberg.
has like rope hair.
Yeah.
And the best part was they had Tom and Nicole, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, and right when the ride opened, they broke up, so they switched their heads with Melanie Griffith and Antonio Banderas.
The hottest
Yes.
couple there is.
And the best part was when you get to the end, like a roller coaster, they take your picture, but instead of like, woo, this is great, you have this look of, what the fuck was that on everybody's face? And
It is Mulholland Madness? Wasn't that part of it, or was that what it was called? Or no, that's
no,
what
that
they
was-
named a roller coaster,
yeah,
right?
one of the
kid coasters.
Can I say that I like that you call them Tom and Nicole?
But
Well, when
a
you worked at
testament-
Disneyland with them, I worked with them.
a testament to them, we knew who he was talking about.
I honestly didn't. I'm the everyman.
Sorry. That's right.
Again, you're
Good. Thank you for being here.
But now here's the other thing you didn't explain about this.
yeah.
These were puppets. These
Yeah,
were animatronic
like
puppets that looked like the
caricature.
Phil Collins Genesis.
right.
Oh my
puppets.
god.
Yeah, so it was just weird.
They didn't look anything. It was insane.
Google
and,
it.
Google it. Take a look at that ride and just marvel at
Google it, Bing
it.
it.
So were
web
you
crawl it.
always a doctor at this ride?
Well, Doctor was the coveted costume because it was the most comfortable and easy to get into. The other options were Millionaire, where you'd wear a smoking jacket and ascot.
Why is that not the most coveted?
Well, that one was fine. It made sense. But the other one for the guys, for some reason, was a cop, but like 1920s royal blue kind of, hey, what you doing, you shillelagh? So I was always a doctor. 'Cause the people I would work with, Aaron every weekend, and another guy named Ken Parks, who was great, and we just didn't care that everybody's supposed to be something different. All three of us would be doctors, and just...
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Doctors would
exactly.
have drama with each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
So then I did this improv show that was a lot like Whose Line Is It Anyway on this stage out there called the Department of Untapped Hilarity. Duh. Okay.
Wow.
And then the last thing I did there, well, I did the Bluegrass Billy Hill and the Hillbillies show a little bit, and then I did this Laughing Stock Cowboy sketch show, and then I did Push the Talking Trash Can. Have you ever heard of this?
Yes, I'm familiar with Push the Talking
That was
Trash
a
Can.
great job too, because you would just
Were
wear
you
your own
in control of Push?
Uh-huh.
So you also got to drive him as well as
Yes.
speak for Push.
Yeah, it was just like a regular metal trash can that you would hide in the crowd with your hand in a bag with a remote control in there, and it would move this robotic trash can that looks just like a normal trash can, and then just talk into your hand, and it would put your voice through the trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
Push the talking trash can.
Why was it called Push?
Because that's
he's
the name.
like,
You got to
he was-
push
you
on
gotta
the door.
push the
It says push
slot.
on it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
He's the everyman.
And also, you could throw trash in it.
What
That
does
was
the word
beauty of
push
it.
mean?
It's based on the novel by Sapphire.
Okay.
Empujo.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
This is a fun little let's get to know Matt Gorley situation right
And
now.
so now you know that Amanda and I, we sold a show to Fox based on our time at Disney because she was a princess there.
Whoa.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
And so
What's the name of it?
It's called Wonderland. It's as if that's basically Disneyland.
Yeah.
If Disneyland didn't exist.
I'm buying it. I'm
You
interested.
can't. It's already purchased.
No.
Fox owns it.
How much would it take to get that off of their hands?
Well, they gave us $23.
I'll give you 23.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
The answer-
we'll break even.
You're gonna break even. It's perfect. Okay, so here's Now this is 2006. This is 2006 is the year you're doing this. This is interesting because 2006 isn't that also the year Casino Royale comes out?
Yes.
That is very interesting.
So when I'm reading these Bond novels, it's the first time I've ever read Casino Royale, and it was right around that time that they announced Daniel Craig, and I was the only person I knew going, "This is perfect. This guy's great. He suits this novel so well." We're coming off these Brosnans, which I wasn't a fan of, and I was in.
So you got a Guinness. You got
Every
a
day.
fried Snickers bar.
Deep fried Snickers bar.
After the corned beef sandwich.
After the corned beef sandwich. And it's
Would you
slathered in coffee ice cream.
Would you always have corned beef sandwich, or would you get corned beef and cabbage?
No, I just went full autism spectrum and just went, give me the same thing every day. I want no change in.
And at what point did the staff of the restaurant become concerned?
They were enablers at,
Did they love seeing you?
Yeah, I mean, I just had I knew the bartender there. She was a great woman, and we just.
You ever take
Yeah,
that?
what's
You
the
ever take
story
that?
there? You ever take that?
This is also the time when we started Super Ego, so my life was coming back together.
It culminated.
Yeah.
Culminated in the very, very fine podcast Super Ego.
Yeah.
Which I've never been asked to do. So
We haven't recorded
that's
it
true. That's
since
fair.
I've known you.
That's fair. Okay. 2006, you have a bad breakup, and then you discover the novels of Ian Fleming.
Yes.
How would
Well, here's how it started. Because of the breakup, I'm going to read every Shakespeare play. Within days, I'm going to watch every Bond movie.
That is the better way to go about it.
It really is. It's even
And at the time, the DVDs were out of print. So there were certain Bond movies I couldn't get at Blockbuster, and I had a thing where I had a student bring me some. I had to watch a couple on VHS.
Isn't that sort
Did
of
you-
crossing the line?
Did you
Former
fuck
student.
the student?
No.
Have you ever?
No.
Did you fuck the DVDs?
It's college. You can do that.
Well, I'm no.
it's
you-
college. Can't you do that?
No.
It's community college. Can't you do that? Hang on.
No.
Why? You're adults. You're
I'm
both
absolving
adults.
myself from this.
Yeah, I'm out
Okay.
of here.
Yeah.
You're both leaving the conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Katie? Katie, question. Get on this microphone for 1 second. You guys hang tight. I'm going to talk to Katie for a
I'm
second.
not even in the room anymore.
Okay. It's great. It's great.
Katie,
James
welcome
Bond podcast.
welcome to
James Bond.
1995. High five.
1990 high five.
2006.
Yep.
Okay. Now, don't influence her answer here.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you think it is okay for a college professor to hook up with a college student?
I don't know. It depends what year is the college student.
Let's say they're 18.
Oh.
Freshman year.
How old's the professor?
Matt was
Well,
say
at that
28.
time, I would have been
38.
33.
32.
No.
33.
No. 33.
All right, but under 35.
35.
Young, handsome, strapping, looking at 150 pounds of fury.
Wait, is that right? No, I'm 27. No, wait, what?
I was correct. You were 20. Oh, no, you
I'm
were 30.
33. Yeah.
Okay, 33. Larry Bird's number. All right?
Jesus.
One behind Nolan Ryan. 34.
Basketball
Year Jesus
Jesus.
died. Yeah.
Basketball Jesus.
He-
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
So you're 33 years old, 18 years old. What do you think?
I think that's a big age difference.
It's not that big, but
I would feel weird.
you're saying no.
I think it'd be a little weird, yeah.
Well, here's
And
the thing, too.
immaturity levels are so different.
And the bigger
There's
deal
a
to
power
me is
struggle.
it's one thing if you find an 18-year-old that you somehow magically relate to or something, which I
Yeah.
don't think is going to happen. But while you're teaching that class,
Yeah.
that's not a good idea.
Yeah, no.
That's not a good idea.
That's bad.
It's not a good idea,
I don't think
but it's
you're
not
allowed
illegal.
To.
Yeah.
It's not illegal.
But the college
illegal.
bylaws.
No, some schools.
What?
It's frowned upon.
Yeah, I know teachers that have.
Oh.
Yeah,
but
well, you always hear about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say no.
Where'd you go to college?
Cal State Monterey Bay?
that's
What were you doing? Marine biology?
No, I was doing film. Those are like film and marine biology. They're two big ones, though.
Where were you in 1995?
I was 10 years old. I was in
Cal
Santa
State
Fe,
Monterey Bay.
California.
1995.
One
All right.
1 year after
Katie-
the Weezer Blue album.
Katie's there, setting the stage for you. Kurt Cobain already dead for almost a year.
My sister already had both of those posters up. That
Yeah.
had it was like him, older than him, the baby picture.
What about
like
the
fourth grade
one?
picture.
What about the one that is the diner at night and it's got Jimi Hendrix?
Boom, Marilyn
Janis
Manson.
Broken
Joplin?
Dreams, right? Isn't that Boulevard of Broken
I
Dreams?
think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it
She
is.
Is
didn't
that
have
Hopper?
that.
Is that
She should have had that.
She
I
was
mean,
a
you
little
could have got a
cooler than
Posters
that.
Plus in the mall. So 1995, you're 10 years old. At 10-year-old Katie Levine, what is your favorite movie at 10 years old?
Oh God.
GoldenEye.
At 10.
10 years old. What do you like? I'm gonna put
Curly
this,
Sue.
I'm gonna put this.
my
back,
guess.
I'm gonna put this back in the VHS player. I'm gonna hit play again. I hope this tape
Jurassic
doesn't
Park.
wear out. Ah, good answer.
Absolutely.
Classics.
Good answer.
Well, now this may give you some insight on things.
Yeah, you hated Jurassic Park.
I was blown away by the effects and everything, but still, at that age, you're just predisposed to walk out going like, "That was
What
really
the
shitty."
fuck is your problem?
No.
I am
Yeah,
reconsidering
watch it again.
all
Watch
of
it.
this.
Hold on, watch it again. That movie starts with a paleontologist telling other paleontologists about how dinosaurs might be related to birds. You would
No.
presume that they would have known.
No.
that. It's all
No.
there for bad exposition for
No.
the audience. Yes.
That is at that point.
Yes.
Let's go back in time. We're in
Okay.
1995.
Now,
That's
the
theme of
Blue
this
Album came out
podcast.
1 year before.
This has been known since at least the 70s. All this stuff.
This theory has been proposed. It was
Yeah.
not the most popular theory.
No, but in the 90s, this was purely for the common man. Craig, back me up on this. You're the
Hey,
common
listen.
man.
However,
Hey.
here's what I'll say
It's
to you.
not a well-written
Here's what I will say to you.
movie. Yeah.
He's explaining this to a shitty 10-year-old kid.
They use it for that, but there's other scientists that don't believe him. That are like, "What? I can't even."
Because there's
fathom
some
this."
old school teaching in there.
It's just
Wait, but
lazy screenwriting.
They did know then back then.
Yes, yeah, they've
Yeah,
known
yeah,
for
yeah.
years.
But was it common knowledge?
Yeah.
It wasn't
certainly
listen,
in
it wasn't
in
the
For a
most top
10-year-old,
in the
it wasn't.
field.
Yeah,
For a 10-year-old,
but no,
it
he wasn't talking to the 10-year-old about that. He's just talking to the 10-year-old about like.
Well, he's talking
lashing
to
him with
to Ellie Statler,
right, and
who
but
is
there's the
who
other
is a
one.
paleobotanist. Okay,
And
not a
just- I don't know. It
paleontologist.
just- look, I like the movie too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's where.
I am reconsidering everything right now.
But let's say also, I'm not necessarily right. I just want people to acknowledge that there is this black hole of 5 years in your 20s where you just don't like things.
I liked everything in my
Really?
20s.
You didn't go through one of those periods?
Flash flood warning, guys.
Wow.
You've never seen that?
Never
We get
gotten
that a
an
lot.
alert.
We get that every time it rains in Los Angeles. There's a flash flood warning.
Can I just say you should host your other podcast,
didn't
Jurassic
get a
Snark?
warning yet.
I'm just going to say it.
Okay, so 1995. Katie's enjoying Jurassic Park.
Uh-huh.
Very, very good thing to enjoy at that point. I
You know
mean,
what's crazy though? I'm gonna go home and we bought the 3D version of that movie and we're gonna watch that tonight.
Fuck yeah.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
That's a great way
So
to
I'm not
spend a
saying-
Friday
I'm
night,
not- yeah.
especially in the rain.
rain.
that
It's my
T-Rex
rainy
scene.
day
That's why I
movie.
love Rain.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm not
that's
saying
what
I
you
don't
should be-
like the movie. I'm just saying it's not. It's not a.
You're just saying
great
what you're saying is you were a shitty person in
movie.
your 20s.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
You were just like, fuck everything.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to hit the waves.
I'm gonna
Just
hit the waves. I'm just gonna surf. I'm just gonna surf my
hair-
troubles away.
I want my hair to do a tube like
Yeah.
the waves do.
Yeah,
And that's
you know
what
what
it
I
did.
love? I love when I get my hair in salt water and I come out and it dries and it feels that weird texture. I wish there was a product I could
Yeah,
put
but
in my
then-
hair that would do that.
But then when I take a shower, there's that
God.
there's that
Sometimes it's
extra
just like-
sand in the
yeah,
under
and
part
it's
of the
like,
bathing
whoa,
suit.
what's
and you're
happening?
like,
This
There's a lot
episode
of
isn't
stuff
going
happening in
up,
there.
is it?
Yes, it is.
No, come on.
Fuck yes, it
This
is.
useless.
This is our favorite episode.
No,
this Matt.
this is
Matt.
useless.
Matthew Gorley. We are putting this episode
No,
up.
under protest. Put it out on Maximum Fun.
Maximum fun. We'll be at Max FunCon. Just kidding. All right. Thank you, Katie, for joining
Thank you,
us.
Katie.
On
You're welcome.
1990 High Fivin'. It's been a pleasure having you on this podcast. We're now going to revert to our regularly scheduled
Oh God!
James
Wait,
Bonding.
I have to tell you this thing about when I was in junior high. I was so into
Hang
James
on.
Bond.
Hang
Oh,
on.
What?
That's our other
Oh,
podcast
Jesus.
called 1980 Heaven.
Oh.
And Craig and I are hosts of that as well,
Okay.
and we'll welcome you onto that right now. Welcome to 1980 Heaven,
Hi.
where we're talking to Matt Gorley about what it was like in junior high, which was, what year was that?
I don't remember.
So that'd be what? A couple years after View to a Kill, or right around View to a Kill?
Yeah, probably 87, maybe.
Welcome to 1980
86?
heaven. That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
86.
We nailed it. Craig, thanks for being here on your podcast. You co-host.
Yep, that's me.
Let's talk to you about 1987.
So my mom got remarried, and it's the first time I'd ever been in a suit. And so I strapped a gun in a shoulder holster underneath it, and was in the wedding with a little gun in a shoulder holster inside my suit.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, this, I
was in
assume,
sixth grade.
It's not awesome.
Wasn't a real-
It's not a
Sixth
real
grade-
gun.
sixth
No, it was
grade
like
I'm
one of
okay
those
with.
mini
No, of
metallic
course it
cap
was. Yeah,
guns.
of course it was.
So now, this was 7 years before the Blue Album came out.
Yeah.
Just to give you a little bit of
Little
perspective.
perspective. Weezer's Blue Album, probably just a glint in Rivers Cuomo's eyes. You know, we're not there yet. He's not really forming ideas. Maybe he's got a little bit of a guitar part for Undone, the Sweater Song. Maybe that's working out. in his head.
He's working about Holiday.
Yeah. Okay. So you put a. Where did you get a shoulder holster?
It was actually a leather case for a Swiss Army knife that I had a little cap gun that fit in it so well, and then I took an elastic bootlace and tied it around my chest.
What the fuck? Sixth grade? I'm trying to think if I would do something like that in sixth grade. I
also
guess I
missed
might.
my 8th grade graduation to stay home and figure out how electronic squib blood packs worked.
What?
And I did.
When did you get a girlfriend?
Well, that's the thing, is that it wasn't like I was...
You were doing okay?
I did okay in junior high, especially. I did okay. There was
Whoa,
there was a real
especially?
spot. Well, there was a real spot in high school where I didn't grow at the rest of the rate, so I stayed about 5 feet while everybody else grew a foot or so.
Yeah.
And there was a real dry spell there.
Wow.
I was just a little guy, but I had.
You're
fun.
pushing 6 feet now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Craig, do you have any thoughts on 1980 Heaven?
Was Empty Nest on at that time?
It probably
Of
was.
course.
I like
of
that
course.
show.
Golden Girls, were you a
Yeah.
big Golden Girls fan at that time?
What's
What's Matt Gorley... I'm going to say 1987 Matt Gorley's
Yeah.
favorite television program is Cheers.
Robotech?
Robotech.
I don't know what that is.
Robotech was a... Was it on CBS?
No, it was.
Or was it
it was
syndicated?
syndicated. So it was like here. It was like 11 or 13 or something. It was like a.
I haven't
afternoon
heard
cartoon.
Robotech
Oh, I love it.
in so many
I love
years.
it. It was the first serialized cartoon where people would die, and I
Yeah,
just
and
was
then
like,
shit would happen
Whoa.
because that would affect you the next week.
Do you see why I got snobby? Because even my young cartoons were like had adult issues.
1987, 2 years after Back to the Future comes out.
Boom.
Were you a big fan?
Of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I wasn't a
Whoa.
crazy fan. I did, but I was also I was reading those original black and white Ninja Turtles, and then collecting like Dark Knight Returns and
So
Watchmen.
you'll never be on our podcast, Laugh to the Future.
Yeah, because that is a real podcast.
I will.
Laugh to the Future, where
Yeah.
what we do is we improvise scenes. We don't know which character we are when we start the podcast.
And it's just in the world of Back to the Future.
Yeah,
It
and we
doesn't
just have to
necessarily-
like sort of figure out what's happening.
Yeah.
You might get Jules, he might get Vern, and then I'm like, maybe I'm Doc Brown, and then I got to take my kids. Where am I taking them?
Okay.
Where am I taking them? I don't know.
Wait.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
And the audience will send us suggestions. Welcome back to James Bonding, everybody.
Holy shit!
I can't wait for you to not like this podcast and then tell us about it. It's fine.
Well, let's say one thing about that.
yeah.
Some people wrote on Twitter when last episode we said, "Hey, back off when we do new episodes," and people were like, "Hey, sorry for your liking the show." And I would like to specifically say that that's not the problem. We really appreciate that. There was just
I blocked
few
one guy.
really vocal people
Yeah.
that were saying some really strange, weird, and mean things. And so, if we didn't clarify that was meant towards those outliers. Please, thank you for listening.
Yeah,
And, that's not what
This
we
is
meant.
not for the outliers. This
I know
is
who you're
for. This is for the tipping point. This is the other Malcolm Gladwell book.
This is for the people that have 10,000 hours of James Bond listening experience.
That's correct. Okay, here we go. Here's some James Bonding questions. Craig,
right.
this is addressed to you as well. They're all addressed to all three of us. Here we go. If you could make your own Bond film using only prior characters and actors, what would it be? This is an
Oh, that's a
excellent
good
question. This is
question.
coming to us from Linus Sanderson, whose Twitter handle is @angry_mime, M-I-M-E.
So you pick your favorite Moneypenny, favorite M, favorite
Yeah.
Bond. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, here's what I'm doing. Ready?
Yeah.
Lois Maxwell is my money penny.
Yeah, I think
She's
we're going to be
always-
very...
She's always going to be my money penny.
Yeah,
All
same
right.
here, same here.
You know who I'd like to see her interact with? That blonde fella, Daniel Craig.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm in. This is where
All
I was
right.
heading.
All right.
I bet you they're all the same.
Bernard Lee is our M,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The original M, he's M.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
that's just how it's going to
Q
be.
as well.
Q, of course.
Yeah.
Desmond Llewellyn. Desmond Llewellyn. What year Desmond Llewellyn? This is where we might differ.
I love young Desmond Llewellyn.
I am a huge fan of old Desmond
Yeah, well, I
Llewellyn.
like him too. I mean, cue card reading Desmond.
Cue card,
shaky
cue
hands.
card
Desmond.
reading, shaky hand,
Bruised
delicate work.
thumbnail. Desmond.
Oh,
He
that's,
does. There's one of them where he says
Oh,
a
that's
bruised-
the
He
worst.
probably like had just closed it in an Aston Martin's door.
That's so evocative. Like that. Like, you know that.
the image that happens. Are we? Here's my question to you: have we just dropped Daniel Craig into Goldfinger?
Basically, I'm trying to think of what villain.
Not if you add Jaws into it.
Yeah. What villain and henchman and Bond girl are you going to put in there? I'll do Vesper Lind.
Vesper Lind, of course.
Yeah.
we're just seeing Daniel Craig and Vesper Lind again.
That's all right. I could use more of that.
Villain, I'm gonna go.
Oh, I was last night when I was at the review premiere. Mads Mikkelsen walked right by me. Lashif.
Did you say anything to him?
No, he was wearing a hat and he was with about 30 family members that looked exactly like him, women and children.
What the fuck were they doing at Andy Daly's party?
Well, it was at the Sky Bar at the Hotel Mondrian.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Do you know who's on the Nerdist podcast next week?
Who?
Eva Green.
What?
Yeah. Vesper Lind.
What? What? You're just telling me this now?
Yeah, it just got scheduled like yesterday, but it's happening.
Don't you need
happening.
me to be the?
Here's-
not only do I want to be there,
Yeah.
but I need you guys all to leave.
Here's the fun part about that. It's being recorded on a Wednesday. Oh no, on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. I will not be able to make it.
Oh, don't they need me to sit in your stead?
They should have a Matt, right?
Not only that, but a Matt who can talk Bond,
Yeah.
and a Matt who can be real creepy.
Yeah. Oh, you're nailing all my own traits, and you're fitting them perfectly. But yeah, no. So that's pretty exciting
Oh
stuff.
my
She'll be on the
God.
Nerdist podcast.
Oh my God.
But we do need to pick a villain, and I'm gonna have to say the villain I would pick is probably.
This is a tough one. I got a few.
Oh, done. I've done it. Ready?
Yeah.
It's Robert Shaw's character. From,
Well, I was going to pick
From
him,
Russia
but
with
he's a
Love.
henchman.
yeah, but he's really the main.
Yeah.
He's really the
I think
main-
you can if you want to get more bang for your buck, you can put him in the henchman category or the main villain.
All right, let's
category.
make him the henchman. Let's make him. Okay, so
'Cause I'm thinking Christopher Walken maybe.
really Zoran?
Yeah, I love Zoran.
He's going Zoran from A View to a Kill, and,
I, though?
and I'm going to have to
Let's see.
disagree with him on this. This is where we depart,
Okay.
and I'm going to go ahead and
Oh, well, Kananga's good too. I like
Kananga's great. Kananga's great.
Christopher Lee Scaramanga's good.
Kananga's great though.
Yeah.
Kananga it is. Let's
Uh,
put him in. Let's put Kananga in there.
okay.
Kananga. Kananga.
Yeah.
Kananga.
I also really like Lashif. I thought that guy was great.
Lashif's excellent.
Yeah.
But we can't have
Okay.
Vesper Lind,
All right,
Daniel
Kananga.
Craig, and Lashif
Why
because
not?
we've just made Casino Royale
Simplify
and just
it.
replaced the M in the
Sounds pretty good.
Money Penny.
I'm into it.
Okay, well that's our answer.
Either way.
And I'm just going to do the plot of True Lies. Okay. This comes into us from Ben Reinhardt. Ben asks, is at Ben5 Reinhardt, at Ben15 Reinhardt asks us, which Bond has the best chest hair? There is only one answer for
Yeah,
this,
that's
and his name is
Sean.
Sean
Yeah,
Connery.
Sean
Connery.
Yeah.
I'd love to rub my hand through that.
Yeah, that thatch.
Oof. Can you imagine somebody gets to do that? Him.
Yeah.
Leanne Olson. All right, I'm gonna favorite. If your tweet got favorited by me, it meant that we asked your question on the air. Grew up with Moore and have never been able to watch a whole Dalton. I'm 40. Do I have to? Leanne, no. You don't have to watch Timothy Dalton, but I think
you should do Living Daylights and then see what you think.
I do. In my brain, my remembering of the movies, The Living Daylights, I enjoy as a film.
I think that's a really
I'll
good
say
Bond
this.
film with a bad ending.
You can do it with another activity going on. You know, at least License to Kill.
Yeah.
If you're
that
cooking a dinner and you have it on in the background,
Yeah.
that's a good movie for
one. Yeah.
that.
If you're
Apparently-
turning cocaine into gasoline, you can just have it
Which
on in the
is
background.
definitely something that really
Cocaine
exists,
into
obviously.
gasoline. Fuck the plot of that movie. Grumpy Humbug asks which movie had the best
Humpy
cinematography,
Grumbug.
which
Oh,
we've already
come
discussed.
on,
And the answer, of course, is,
Skyfall.
I guess. This comes to us from Kyle, KJ Weasel.
Yeah, the Wii.
Buddy.
97.4
Yes,
the Wheeze.
Wes Anderson recently said he wanted to do a Bond movie. Is that something you'd want to see?
Do a short.
Yeah.
Do a Bond
Do one of
short.
those 10-minute iTunes movies.
Hey, man.
Love
I'm
it.
there.
Love it.
Yeah,
Craig,
I'll check
good
it out.
answer.
Yeah.
Matt, thanks for agreeing with
Well,
Craig.
there's no reason to think he couldn't do it. He obviously couldn't do it in the style he
Yeah.
does it in, but I've never seen him do a movie that isn't in that style, so it'd be interesting.
Here's one from James Leach. Yes, in a real life crisis, would you want the assistance of Bond or Jason Bourne? And
This
if
is
Bond,
always the
which
question.
one?
In a real life crisis? So, like
Real
a real
life.
life that actually happens to you? Like,
Oh my God, this girl broke up with me, and I'm constantly eating this sandwich and
because in that
Guinness.
case,
Well, I don't see how I need any help. I think I'm doing pretty well.
what does that mean?
it's like, shit,
So,
we went shopping, but we forgot the limes.
Okay, so I'll put it like this:
I think he means
we're in
if
a
you're in real
hostage situation
danger,
in
yeah.
a bank. Who do we want to be there? James
I
Bond.
think,
I'll take Daniel Craig's James Bond.
but here's the thing. Bourne is one of those guys where no matter what situation, it's locked in his brain. He can get you out. He can always kick through a door and immediately figure out what the next
Yeah.
thing is.
Yeah, but we might not know what he just did because we can't see anything he's
I think
doing.
it also
ever.
depends more on who's writing the movie that we're in.
This is a real life situation.
Oh, sorry.
Favorite casino wing. This comes to us from Kyle Veazey.
A lot of Kyles.
Yeah. At Odalay77, Odalay 77 on Twitter. He asked us favorite casino scene. Good question.
yeah, good
because there
question.
is a lot of a
Yeah.
lot of baccarat.
Well,
There's a lot of poker.
That Connery first line is great. Just that's the best introduction you'll ever see.
Yes.
But I love the game
Indian
in
Casino?
Royale. What?
The Indian casino. I mean the actual in India. Indian.
The backgammon
Yeah.
game? Yeah, that's good.
I enjoy the backgammon game in Octopussy.
And I like the one where he orders a drink.
Here's a question that Craig asked me in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Because we do talk about this for some reason. It comes up. He asked me, are all martinis now shaken for the most part because of James Bond?
Because he says shaken, not stirred, but I've never ordered a martini where it's
Been stirred. And
Yeah.
the traditional way to prepare a martini pre-James Bond movies
Yeah.
was to stir it.
And that's why this was revolutionary. And you didn't make it much with vodka, right? Like
gin.
he-
There's also gin.
Yeah, well, the Bond martini is gin and vodka, but I think it
Really?
was, yeah, because gin's made from potatoes, I believe, and that was like wasn't that Ian Fleming was snobby about it or something, and so
Yeah.
he shakes it
he
because
doesn't like
it,
Irish
it gets
people.
colder quicker.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, something like that.
But now, I think traditionally they're all mostly, whenever I see a martini prepared, it's shaken.
yeah.
Unless you go to some bar that has Edison light bulbs.
And it's funny
wood
too
grain.
because it was really Casino Royale when that came out that they started calling them Vesper martinis again.
Yeah.
They were just martini or like a Bond martini or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Where were we out somewhere? I'm trying to think if it was you or I ordered a martini somewhere, like an old-fashioned martini, and it came out. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a gin martini, And it came out, and it was a Vesper.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Interesting.
I don't remember where
Had
it
a
was.
little lemon twist on that.
This one comes to us from Rob Downs, RB Downs 73. He says, should they drop the Quantum Group story and just go back to Spectre since they have the rights back?
No,
I
I'd
like Quantum. I'd like a little
and Quantum is
exploration.
Spectre. It can be
Well,
Spectre.
Quantum can be the it's not the parent company. The parent company, Spectre,
Why
should be
complicate it?
Disney.
Because also Spectre is a ridiculously shitty
It's such a
acronym.
stupid name. Do you know what Spectre stands for?
No, remind me.
It stands for special.
Executive.
So SP,
Right.
right? Special executive counterterrorism and extortion.
Revenge and extortion.
Revenge and
Yeah.
extortion.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so you don't need it.
So
But that's
dumb.
great. But that seems so very 60s, and there's something
And
great
Quantum's a great name for an enemy. What's
Enemy.
it?
It's evocative of Quantum
real-
Leap.
Real
Sam-
sleepy.
By the way, that's a good name.
This isn't-
I would name a daughter Emily.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Quantum.
Nope, I'm not going to do that.
Quantum Emily Jr.
This isn't going up, right?
This is going up. I'm sorry, it's going up.
All right, I apologize. There's no need to comment on the shittiness of this episode.
You know what?
We're fully
Here's what
aware
we'll
of it.
do. We'll
Yeah.
even throw this up over the weekend,
Okay.
and that way it doesn't go
Yeah.
up as a regular sort of
Yeah.
episode.
This
It's
is
really
a doesn't
special. This is a
count
very
episode.
special
Well,
episode.
Maybe make it limited edition. You get it for a week. And
You know
then
what?
it's
And actually,
never
what we'll
there.
do is we're going to record after this. Remind me, we'll record an intro.
Okay.
Talking about this episode.
All right.
Just because I think it's
Sounds
fair
good.
to tell everybody
Yeah.
what happens.
Sounds good.
This one comes from Hirudinade. Yeah,
It's not a good
Hirudinade.
name for your daughter.
Whose Twitter handle is at Delasizzle. D-E-L. No, we're not laughing at your name, just at how I pronounced it.
She's such a
at
fan of Touch by an Angel.
DELOSISLE. It's Delaree's Sizzle Reel. Delasizzle.
Yeah, I edited that once in 1999, and then it stuck.
It's probably where you know me from.
On Win Movie. She says, your suggested future Bond girl character names. Ooh, we can get real punny with this.
That's great.
Yeah.
For a while, I've been trying to pitch a hashtag to At Midnight, rejected Bond movies and rejected Bond characters. And no one's been on board, but I guarantee you'll see
Why
it
have
soon
they
enough
not?
because we'll run
We're
out of
running it.
hashtags.
Okay.
Suggested future Bond girl names. So here's some real examples that we can get started with. Holly Goodhead.
Sylvia Trench, which
Sylvia
we realized
Trench, which
we
we-
all had the realization was a
that
Bond.
was a vagina that we're talking about.
Yeah, that-
Xenia Onatopp,
Xenia
Pussy
on top,
Galore.
Pussy galore.
I
So-
would like them to go back to the books and just take some of the regular names they haven't used, like Moonraker. They got Galabrand. That's a good name.
Galabrand
nice
is great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name. Let's see. I'm gonna name a Bond girl.
I go.
Go.
Clatina
Clatina.
Gonorrhea.
Clatina gonorrhea.
She'd be a real nasty.
She just goes by Tina.
Yeah,
I have
and
Tina.
then he sees her license and,
and-
he goes, Clatina.
There's a henchwoman named Vagianta.
Vagina. She's a large Amazonian
Yeah.
type woman.
Wait, that's real.
No.
Oh my
that's what
god.
he just
Oh
made
my
up.
god.
That's what he
I was
just
like,
made
there's
up.
no, because you said there is one. I was like, no.
And I'm gonna have to
Or
say,
Vagina Dentata.
yeah, I'm gonna
But
have
with
to
metal,
say,
with metal vagina teeth, like Jaws.
Like
She just
Jaws.
called
That's-
Jaws.
No,
but
they're
it's the
sister
reboot.
and brother.
Lady B Ya. She's
Ooh.
regal and it's labia.
Oh.
If you say it fast enough.
Lady Bear.
Labia. Great. We're favoriting that one. Do you guys have a favorite Bond mistake that was kept in a film? And he thinks we missed this one in Diamonds Are Forever. I'm going to take a look right now. Is it the wheel coming off the motorcycle? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We know all about it. This comes from Paul Weller. Paul is at Paul, W-E-L-L-E.
Paul Weller, the musician.
At P-A-U-L-W-E-L-L-A-R. Paul
Okay.
Weller. Favorite Bond mistake has to be the guy in the camera in Man with the Golden Gun.
I found one in Live and Let Die. Did I tell
Wait,
you?
what's
too?
the man in the camera?
There's just a shot of a mirror, and you can see the crew.
Well, they're in a fight and they turn it on accident, and just
Yeah.
the whole crew shows up in the mirror, and they're kind of like,
That's great.
Yeah, and they left it
pretty
in.
great, yeah.
You found it in Live and Let Die?
Yeah, well, in the train fight at the end, there's a point where you can see the cameraman in the glass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love it.
Guy Hamilton wants to be in those movies so badly, he leaves the mistakes in.
I think in one of the Pierce Brosnan ones, there's a scene where you might not see it, but he just had shit his pants, and you can just see
Oh.
there's shit everywhere.
Well, Tomorrow Never Dies is just a mistake, but leave it in.
All right, we're gonna
Sure, why
do three more questions, and then we're gonna wrap this baby up.
Yeah.
This one comes to us from mutual friend Josh Flom
Oh,
at Josh
I
Flom,
was just gonna suggest that one.
F-L-A-U-M.
I didn't know you knew Josh.
Josh worked with me on Attack of the Show.
That's right.
Josh feels like he's
how
responsible
would
for this
I,
podcast.
How would I not know that? That's how
That's
I
when we
know
met.
you.
That's how we met,
My God.
through Josh.
I absolutely knew that. And I
and that
apologize.
was he said to me, this is how this happened.
Yeah.
He said to me, you know Matt Gorley from Super Ego. I'm like, yeah. He goes, he's a big James Bond fan. You should pitch him for the segment. I said, yeah.
Oh, God bless you. And never
that's
been
how we
fast
ended
friends
up.
ever since.
Josh Flaum said, let's get him on, and then here we go.
Josh's a good guy.
Josh says, do you think James Bond will be just as popular if his name was Bitsy Chumdog?
That's a good question.
No.
Bitsy Chumdog. Now,
No.
here's the thing. Think about it. The name's Chumdog. Bitsy Chumdog. Pretty good ring to it. There's some nice... There's
You see, when I originally...
Oh, Ian's here.
Yes.
Ian
Only when
Fleming?
I originally conceived of the character, I called him Bitsy Chumdog. Is that it?
Yeah, no, that's what we're saying here.
It
Bitsy
had
Chumdog.
a
Now, what
certain
made
ring.
you...
Well, I was dating a woe man who was named Bitsy Chumdogra of the Hampton, New Hampton, Southampton, West, East, and Northampton Chumdog was.
So she got around the Hamptons.
I believe she did, let me tell you. She was
Now, did you meet her on the island?
eternally human.
Did you meet her on the island?
Grow
of course.
orchids.
Oh, of course. I was asking if you met her on the island of Jamaica or in the Hamptons.
Yes, you sort of met her everywhere you went, you know. She was that type of woe man.
Yeah.
And she had a frost about her eyes in a cataract sort of way that makes you think she's willing to go for it. you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, Ian, was she an older lady, or was she just
Hard
sort
to
of...
tell with all the liver spots, you know.
yeah.
They
That usually
obscured-
is an indication that she's
Well,
old.
there's so many that it obscured her actual age. It belied her wisdom was beyond her years.
This is going to be strange because, every time you visit me,
Yes.
Matt Gorley, my co-host,
Who is this?
he's this wonderful guy.
You
He actually
always
co-hosts.
talk of him, but he's gone.
He always leaves as soon as you show up.
I don't know what to say.
This is very strange. And someday I hope someday you can meet him. I don't
I
know how.
hope so too. He sounds like a roguishly handsome chap.
Do
Dashing.
you know that for a month,
What?
Ian, he would sit in a pub and read your books
Well, I like him already.
every day for a month. And
Do you
he
know
would
what
eat.
Snickers are?
No, are they like a Mars bar?
They are
Yes,
very
they're
much
very
like a
much
Mars
like a
bar.
Mars
I
bar.
see.
Here's what he would consume, and I just want Ian. I want your opinion on this situation. He'd recently broken up with a lady,
Oh, I've been there.
his own Bitsy Chumdug.
Oh, Bitsy.
Yes, of course. And now what he would do is he didn't want to do anything.
Right.
So for 30 days,
Yes,
he would go into this pub
I see.
every night, consume the same thing: a pint of Guinness.
Oh, you could do worse. Put a little champagne in there. Have black velvet.
Ooh, that sounds
Wow.
great. I didn't even know that was a drink, but thank you,
it's
Ian,
in
for sharing
The
that.
Man with the Golden Gun.
I'm loving it.
Look
I'm
at
loving
top.
it.
Look
I
at top.
will
I think
very
they
well.
call it black and tan or black velvet. I can't remember. It is different here than it is there.
Yeah, of course, of course. Now he would consume this with a fried Mars bar equivalent
Fair enough.
and a corned beef sandwich
I say.
every single night.
It's a little continental, but I'd do it, you know. Well, seeing as how, who cares about the health ramifications? I smoke something on 160 cigarettes an hour, so
Wow.
I can't say
You've
that-
already finished
That's
4 while you've been
amazing.
talking to
I
us.
know.
I've never seen anything burn this
Well,
fast.
I have to put one between every finger.
Yeah, of course.
Just
of
put them in
course.
like I think I've said before. Rather than a cigarette Gatling gun, it's more of just a long line of
So
cannons.
you always act like an embarrassed Chinese girl. This is amazing. Look at him doing this. This is amazing.
So quick.
Matt is not going to believe us.
Anyway, I have to be going.
It's weird
Ian,
because
no,
when
thank
Matt
you.
left, he didn't say anything.
Oh, well, now I don't like him. How rude you say.
That was very rude of him, but
Yes.
hopefully he'll be back. But Ian, thank you so much
It
for
was
joining
actually
us
nice
again.
meeting you
Welcome.
again.
Thank
was
you.
really
Nice
great.
to see you. I'm glad you're
Yeah,
back.
it was really great.
Okay, bye now.
May your days be whimsical.
Yes, all right. I'm around the corner. You can't see. Oh, hello. You must be Matt Gorley. Hi, who are you? I'm Ian Fleming, don't you see? Who? Ian Fleming? No. That's not how you say it. Oh, well, anyway, it was great to meet you. I still don't know who you are. I
Matt,
don't-
come on back into
okay,
the podcast, Matt.
all right.
We're
Hey,
gonna have a chair
guys.
open.
Hey, guys.
Dude,
Do you know what you
I
just
met
missed?
the kookiest old bugger out there. let
Wait,
me tell
no.
you. Yeah.
That you're not gonna believe this. That was Ian Fleming.
I don't believe it.
That was literally
Oh, I-
Ian Fleming.
I
Did
literally
you talk
don't
to
He was
him?
here.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, he said his name was Ian Fleming.
Now, wouldn't you make that connection since you're
don't
we've been
understand.
talking about Ian Fleming?
No, I don't.
I don't
I still
understand.
don't make the
Matt,
connection.
this is
What?
very weird. I
Uh-huh.
feel like you should have recognized him.
Jurassic Park's not a good movie.
We're
Let's
not
what?
talking about. We're back on James Bond
Okay.
now.
All right.
Matt, someday you're going to run into Ian Fleming. He visits the podcast regularly. Maybe you should take a listen.
All right. I think he's dead.
Oh, well, that's too bad. We're going to take two
By
more.
the way, I watched that Ian Fleming miniseries.
Did you?
Yeah,
How'd you feel about it?
didn't like it.
I didn't watch it.
It's not.
I'm
It's
saving
in
it-
some
I'm
ways
saving
it's
it for
not
when
its
we
fault.
run out
The
of movies.
acting's really good.
I'm
but
saving it for when we run out of movies.
Those BBC dramas are getting real melodramatic now.
Yeah, that's very true. They're all trying to be Downton Abbey.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Here's a question from Paul Hodgert. Hodgert, probably. Paul at PaulHodgert. Has anyone fully explained short-selling stocks to you guys? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's been explained in the email, I'm sure.
I've had it explained to me probably 4 or 5 times, and I leave the explanation understanding it, and then 5 minutes later I can't.
That's like anything with stocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't possess the capacity to understand it. I don't possess the will.
Yeah, I don't want to understand it.
I do, but then I just
I don't want to because I just
don't.
get so terrified of the fact that all of this money exists just on paper.
Yeah.
There's no actual cash exchanging.
It's like
hands.
Bitcoins, guys.
Yeah, big
Guys,
time.
Bitcoins are in trouble.
Yeah.
Bitcoins are in trouble.
Guys,
$425 million in Bitcoins gone.
Yeah.
Save the Bitcoins.
Oh, man. Okay. And final question from Mike Borda, Mike _BORDA. Mike asks us, would you ever accept an American Bond, or would it be too much like a Felix Leiter spinoff? Well,
I don't see the point.
there is no point. There is
isn't.
no point to that. America has a number of James Bonds.
Yeah.
You know, Jason Bourne is one
Yeah,
of them. John McClane is another. Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from True Lies, whose name I can't think of right now.
Maybe Action Jackson. Maybe you've heard of
Action Jackson,
Remo Williams,
Apollo Creed,
Fortune Dane. Oh, come on.
Austin Powers.
Did you see Remo Williams?
No.
Do you remember that movie? Fred Ward from the 80s. It was kind of a James Bond knockoff.
No.
Worth visiting.
Worth a
sometime.
visit?
Joel Grey plays an old Asian
I love it.
trainer in it. Old
love
Asian
it.
man.
Beautiful.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Wow. That was our mission briefing, guys. Got a little off track here and there, but overall,
well,
I
thank
think
God
this
you
is-
waited 3 weeks for that.
Listen, I'm happy.
I
I'm
had
happy with
fun.
the episode. We had fun,
Yeah.
and I think the audience is going to have fun getting to know a little bit more about their fearless co-host, Matt Gorley, seller of Volkswagens, consumer of Snickers. Craig Rowan, thank you
Craig.
very much for joining us
Thank
here.
you for having me back.
We fully appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for filling in for Kumail Nanjiani or Kubail Noshoani.
I think before you said no show uppy.
Yeah.
Okay, that probably made way more sense.
Yeah.
Either way, you know,
And I don't know Kumail.
Which
so I
one's
can't say
more of a
these things.
dig?
Kumail wasn't meant to be a big dig. I know you're busy. Don't worry about it. We'll reschedule you. We saved License to Kill for you. I know you watched it today. Interesting. Anyway, so with that, we salute you. Thank you
Guys.
for listening to James Bonding. We'll be back. We will return with License to Kill. We promise. We just have to figure out the scheduling. We're so busy now, and
Yeah.
it kind of sucks for the scheduling. And we do feel bad that we don't get episodes out as often as we should be getting them out.
But let us look on the bright side that this will at least last longer, which actually I like because I will be sad when it ends.
Yeah, I'll
too.
be sad too.
Yeah.
We'll probably try and stretch this out. You know, Craig will be back for another edition of 1990 High Five. 1980 Heaven will be back. It's
Yeah.
gonna be really good.
Yeah.
2000 and Sex is gonna be back. too.
1933.
1990 Fun is going to be the offshoot I'm starting. Where you just
1990 Fun. The Dave Matthews Band formed in Virginia. I'll talk about it. It's gonna be great.
2000 and Jew.
2000 and Jew. You'll have to host that one, Craig.
2000 Lucky Number Slebin, where we just talk about how
Movie
great it
Slebin.
was that
Lucky
movie
Number Slebin.
came out. Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. Send your comments and questions and all that stuff to the Twitter handle at James Bonding Pod, and also to our email address, bondjamesbonding.com.
At gmail.com.
Thank you, and good night.
We ear love you.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.